Hello, my name's Alexandra Mackey, and I'm an associate at DLA Piper. Earlier this year, I had the privilege to work with Andrew Santa Anna, Day One supervising attorney, on a matter with one of our clients. Our client is a college student who experienced violence in her last relationship. Her college boyfriend had a history of violent behavior with her, and when she tried to break up with him and move on, his behavior escalated. Through the help of professors at college, our client connected with Day One, who then reached out to DLA Piper with help on the matter. Through the late spring and early summer, we met with our client numerous times to help piece together her story, prepare her for trial and its possible outcomes. In the end, we were successful and we obtained an order of protection for our client against her abuser. Day One provides support through counseling and legal aid to those suffering from dating and domestic abuse. I chose to spend my pro bono time working with Day One because I wanted to be a part of the solution and to help stop and prevent dating abuse. With Day One, we not only helped our client obtain a successful outcome, but more importantly, we let her know that she's not alone in her struggle. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Council Member Julissa Ferreras. Thank you. Copeland, recently married, Copeland, I forget. He's not here. But I love him, I do. I know I need dating help. Thank God I'm beyond that. But I want to thank Day One for the amazing work. You know, I heard of this organization as the council member, but I also understood the work that needed to be done. Not this council, but the prior council with Chris Quinn at the helm. We were able to bring a very important topic, which was street harassment. We were the first government body to ever talk about street harassment. And oftentimes people wonder, well, what's the big deal? I'm just saying, you know, whistling at a girl, telling her she looks pretty. But what we don't understand is that oftentimes that is elevated. And if we tell girls that in a future relationship you should not accept abuse, then we should not have the experience that a 14-year-old on her way to school every day has to be harassed on a corner, and that is her experience. And I say that because that was my experience when I was going to high school. So what Day One is doing to teach young girls and men how to value themselves, and that we are diamonds, and that we are valuable, and that we are more than those people that want to say that we are less than what we are. I am forever grateful for the work, but tonight I am grateful to all of you for investing your dollar and for believing in this organization. So I forever tell you, gracias.
Hi, my name is India. I'm 17 years old. When I was 14, I trusted my ex-boyfriend, and I sent him naked pictures of myself. He exposed them on social media multiple times, and when I asked him to stop, he wouldn't. My Day One lawyer broke down what was going to happen in specific steps so that I would understand and so that I would be comfortable. Every time Caitlin and I met, we held conversations, and she would explain what happened every time we went to court. She helped me gain my confidence back. When my case was resolved, I felt relieved from all my problems and worries. I was still insecure when I went to school, but I knew that at that point I would be able to enjoy my senior year. If anybody went through what I went through, I would let them know that it's okay to be scared and to feel bad at the moment, but it's going to be okay because there are people that care about you and they want to help. They specialize in different things, and they really care about you, not just because they're lawyers and it's their job, but they care about you because that's what they really want to do. And I'm really grateful for Day One a lot.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stephanie Cooke. I'm this beautiful young lady's mom. Thank you. I'm trying to keep it short because I do like to talk. But Day One has been a valuable blessing to my daughter and I. You guys have catered to all of my daughter's needs. I thank you for your support I thank you for the confidence that you gave both of us. And I also want to say thank you to Andrew and Caitlin. Just thank you for accepting us and just giving her life back, basically. Now she can have an awesome senior year. Thank you, guys.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the commanding officer of the New York City Police Department Domestic Violence Unit. I'm Deputy Chief Juanita Holmes, and I'd like to say it's a pleasure, my pleasure and honor, thank you. Thank you, to be a part of Day One's first Parade of Partners event this evening. There are over 40,000 members of the service in the New York City Police Department that would be uniform as well as civilians. And we have probably more than 400, over 400, dedicated to the domestic violence units and keeping families safe. In addition, approximately 3,500 are school safety agents assigned to schools throughout New York City. School safety agents are tasked with providing a secure and safe environment, enabling our students to learn without distractions. New York City Police Department, Domestic Violence Unit, and Day One have joined forces in providing school safety agents with the essentials needed, helping them to identify teen dating violence. It is my pleasure to announce that on September 23rd, 2015, the New York City Police Department, Domestic Violence Unit, and Day One trained more than 130 school safety agents on how to identify and respond to dating abuse. Thank you. The response from the agents were overwhelming. Hundreds more will be trained next month, which is great. It should be noted that teen dating violence is largely underreported. As a result of such, it is essential that the New York City Police Department Domestic Violence Unit and Day One continue their work together in educating and creating awareness with all those responsible for keeping our children safe. In closing, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone on the Day One team for making this all possible. Thank you and enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Hello, world. My name is Amy Quispe. In 2007, my junior year of high school, I started dating a classmate. 3 months later, I knew something was terribly wrong, but I didn't have the words to describe it. Eventually, I went home and I Googled domestic violence. And that's how I found out that he had put a keylogger on my computer and knew everything I was typing, including that. It made him angry that I had friends, so I shut down my Facebook. Riding the subway made me anxious because being off the grid infuriated him. He told me he didn't want me getting a job or going to college, so I faked my grades so it looked like I was failing classes and applied to colleges behind his back. I needed help, but the adults in my life failed me. I'd always been a really good student, but the teachers didn't seem concerned by my sudden attendance issues. They didn't say anything when instead of going to class, I just stood outside crying. When the school found out, they were helpful and they called Day One. Then, they became a nightmare. They threatened to tell my parents, who knew nothing because I wasn't allowed to date. Then they tried to bully me into a safety transfer, which would have removed me and not him from the school. And then the assistant principal told me I couldn't meet with Day One at the school at all. In 2008, there were very few legal options for me other than criminal court, which I discussed with my Day One lawyer, but I didn't want to pursue. Still, it was so important to have an adult in my life who understood what was happening. Being able to talk to my lawyer frankly and honestly about what was going on meant the world to me and helped me eventually get out. Last winter, I wanted to give back to those who gave to me. I gave the largest donation to Day One because they gave me my life back. Since reconnecting with Day One, I've been extremely impressed with how they've expanded. I'm glad they're just as down-to-earth and up-to-date as I remember. I needed Day One in 2007 because they knew what was up. And 8 years later, they still do.
Hello. I'm Sara Gonzalez. I'm the community educator. I remember the first time I was told not to cry. I started to act out violently when expressing myself. It feels like a prison, young men say when we discuss the gender expectations we place on people and the effects it has on their relationships. While we discussed consent, a student said, next time they say no, I'm just gonna stop. If they get mad because they're playing around, I'll ask if they want a partner that doesn't listen to them when they say no. Yo, miss, this is live. A student exclaimed after a workshop. Translation, it was a lot of fun. I get to see the epiphanies every time I walk into a classroom. Young people feel that something isn't right. They just need the space and the safety to fully talk it through. After these workshops, these same young people usually speak to guidance counselors and teachers that help link them to our counseling or legal services. Now, can you raise your hand if you've ever read Romeo and Juliet? Seen a variation of it or the movie? It's pretty much everybody in here, right? Well, in one sentence, it is about two young people who kill themselves because they can't be together. And this story is over 400 years old. It has paved the way for our obsessive, ride or die, us against the world mentality that has become the standard for our relationships. We romanticize it in movies, in our music, in our literature, and then we market it to young people. Young people didn't create these standards that they're trying to live up to. So as adults, let's continue to be allies and continue to change for the better the relationships that they see.
How's everybody doing? My name is Destiny, and I'm a member of Day One's Youth Voices Network. So you guys are all giving me like these reindeer eyes, so can we just make it a little less awkward really quick? So I'm going to be very honest with you. In the year 2014, I considered that probably the worst year of my life. I had just ended my abusive relationship, and I was dealing with a lot of shame, blame, and embarrassment. I had gone to a therapist who told me before that I had needed domestic violence counseling, and my initial response was, why? I had no idea that I was in an abusive relationship because I was not being beaten. Sorry. Clap for me a little bit. Clap for me. Clap for me. Clap for me. Okay. Sorry. Try not to get nervous. And then, while dealing with all of the shame and everything that came with my relationship, my sister, my niece, and nephew were murdered by her husband. So I went to a support group, and I shared my story with the other adults, and they labeled me as the baby. And I felt like it took away from my respect, you know? They didn't put me at the same level as them. So that's what made me seek out a group where I could speak with survivors that were closer to my age. And that's what led me to Day One. Day One is essential for young survivors because it is there that we are comfortable sharing our stories, establishing a bond, raising awareness, and most importantly, having a voice. How many of you guys have ever used that slogan or have heard the slogan, the youth are the face of tomorrow? Raise your hand. Should be everybody, right? So, it's true, however, I want people to know that our stories matter today. So, Day One has been instrumental in shaping young survivors into confident, resilient, brave young men and women. And thanks to Day One, I no longer look at myself as a helpless victim. I am a strong, intelligent, bold, and beautiful young survivor. I've never been more passionate about ending dating abuse, promoting healthy relationships, and respecting myself at all times. So I'd like to thank Day One for playing a huge role in shaping who I am today and for saving the lives of other survivors. I'd also like to thank everyone here for donating to this amazing organization. You might not see yourself as one, but we are all advocates, and together we can end dating violence. Thank you so much.